Good afternoon. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Let me share this too. Okay. Had to make sure that I shared the stream to Twitter so everybody can find me. This morning we were on TikTok talking a little bit about industry changes, industry shifts, and just kind of some tea of the game, honestly, tea of the game. And I was kind of mentioning, talking about Streamer University and like Kai Cenat and how he was saying, you know, how disappointed he was that the people that he was trying to put on, all of these smaller creators, he was disappointed that, you know, a lot of them really weren't taking it serious. They weren't, you know, there for what they were supposed to be there for. And we went on a whole little tangent about that. So I'm just here on YouTube. I know today's title suggests we're going to be talking about psychological domination and relationship building, honestly, with your subs, with your clients, relationship building. Now, honestly, everybody, every sub, every guy that you come across is going to be different. You will do yourself, as the professional, you will do yourself a disservice if you feel like every kind of guy, every sub that you come across is going to be the same as the next person, right? There is absolutely no one size fits all to domination, to fendom, to female domination. What some guys like, you know what I'm saying, others may not. And it's not about necessarily you know, becoming this like kink dispenser for these men or anything of that nature, but definitely doing your due diligence to really understand who your target is, who it is that you're talking to, and what kind of things are, what kind of triggers does this particular gentleman have when it comes to your connection. So it's easy for, you know, the average amateur fendom, professional dom to say, oh, well, I know my subs like foot fetishes. I know my subs like to worship my body, like to worship my ass. But when you think about how to get more money out of a man, when you think about how to, you know, get to the point where you're able to take $5, $10, $15,000 from one guy, how do you get to that point? There's a lot of work in the building of the relationship that goes into that, you know, you guys don't see. That's the behind the scenes kind of stuff. Lots of new girls come to fendom and they're like, oh, I don't actually want to talk to guys. I don't actually want to do anything. So it's like, okay, well, if you don't want to actually talk to guys, you don't want to actually create content, you don't want to actually have to do anything, then you don't want to actually be a fucking dom. You just don't. That's the reality of it. If you don't want to actually talk to your subs and actually build a relationship, you don't want to actually fucking be a dom. Financial domination is not free money. It's not charity. We're not panhandling. We're not begging men on the internet for money. The way we are able to get big money from guys is having that connection with them, right? And then some of you guys are like so kind of like lost in the sauce of like, well, what do you talk about? What do you do? And it's not complicated. You have to have a human interaction with this human. I know the idea of men being human ATMs and wallets that don't talk and they just send. I know that that's sexy, but this is still a fucking person. It is very much still a person. You are very much still having a human to human interaction with that, with this person. And in order for you to get to the point of him trusting you enough to use his credit card whenever you want, or to give you 10, 15, 20,000, 30,000, $50,000, or for him to plan all of these expensive vacations for you, nobody's going to do that for a woman that they don't trust. Nobody's going to do that for a woman that they haven't talked to. Nobody's going to do that for a woman that they have not, invested time into getting to know, right? Fendom and dom sub relationships are about building those connections. At the end of the day, like I said, and like I always say, it's a dom sub relationship. Even the most submissive men in the world are not going to, suddenly drop down on their knees and submit to you just because you're a dom or you call yourself a dom, right? The most submissive man in the world is not going to be head over heels in love with you and ready to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on you just because you call yourself a dom on the internet and you post a couple of pictures and he's submissive, right? So when you think about how to get a guy to spend more money on you, how to get these subs to give you more money, the question that you need to answer is, what do I actually know about this person? You need to answer that question for yourself. What do I actually know about this person? Do I know their career? Do I know what they do for a living? Do I know how old they are? Do I know if they are sick or disabled in any kind of way? Because, for example, take those 3 questions alone. What do you do for a living? How old are you? And are you sick or disabled in any kind of way? Those 3 questions are very simple to ask. And for the sake of thinking in the mindset of a professional dominatrix, you having the answer to those 3 questions will help you determine, is this man someone who can afford my time, my effort? Or is this an old geezer who's on a fixed income because he's surviving off of Social Security, and him being an old geezer who is disabled because he's an old veteran and is now surviving off of Social Security, that is going to now gauge how much money I'm able to make off of him and how much time and effort and resources he has at his disposal to invest in me, right? So say, for example, someone who truly is living on a fixed income on Social Security only has access to a limited amount of money at a time. If you were to ask that kind of man, unless he has some other savings or investments that you know about, if you were to ask that kind of man for, let's say, $30,000, 9 times out of 10, he's not going to be able to provide that to you. And otherwise, if you get mad that he can't give you $30,000 because all subs should be able to give me whatever I want, and it doesn't make sense that you can't give me 30K because the last motherfucker gave me 30K, you don't understand that this man's on a fixed income and he's busting his ass to give you a couple $1,000s a month, a week, a day. And to him, that's a lot of money. To you, it may not be a lot of money. It may not be enough money. But you don't go in, and I've talked to my students about this before at our live events, you don't go in with the first sub you latch onto and try to take as much out of the cookie jar as possible. You don't know him, right? So if you try to take, gimme 30K, send me 10K, send me $15,000 to a man that's living on a fixed income as a retired veteran on Social Security, you're going to scare him away. Because yes, he can provide you with a good lifestyle, but he may have to do some work on the side. He may have to wait till his Social Security comes in. He may have to move some things around in order to give you the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 that he's giving you. And if you are not cognizant enough or you haven't done your due diligence enough to even know that he's on a fixed income and is on Social Security and is a disabled veteran, for in this example, you're going to scare him away. Someone who could otherwise be a good sub, who's able to give you as much as he possibly can. And again, as a professional dominatrix, you're not going to have one sub in your lifetime. But I think what a lot of you guys get into, this mindset that you guys get into when you're new, is that like, I need to hurry up and get some subs because I need to hurry up and make some money really quickly for this other thing I have in the back of my head, this other responsibility, this bill, this trip I want to go on, whatever. And when a sub finally does come around, you pounce on him in a way that, again, drives your potential clients away from you. That's really important to know. You pounce on them in a way that drives your people who could otherwise be good quality clients for you in any tax bracket away. Because yes, just because a man cannot send you $10,000, $30,000 does not mean he suddenly has no value. Some men are going to be able to contribute a luxurious lifestyle for you. You know what I'm saying? But he's not going to be your only sub. He's not supposed to be your only sub, right? And then some other men who have the disposable income are going to be able to spend that $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on you. But again, their circumstances may be different. He may not be a retired veteran that's living off of Social Security and a fixed income. This may be an entrepreneur, a CEO, someone who's in an executive suite in a 9-to-5 corporate career. They have the money. Maybe they have investments and stuff like that. Maybe they're invested in the stock market or cryptocurrency or whatever else. But that kind of person has the money and the wealth to give you what you want. But if you discredit, again, the other guy who can't give you $30,000 a month, but he can give you $3,000. If you discard him as invaluable, you're again walking away from a client who could otherwise be really good for you or really kind for you. So in order to get more money out of these men, you need to slow down your fucking self. Don't be so money hungry that you look at men and see dollar signs in your eyes. And I know that's like, oh, well, that's the point of fendom, right? No, it's not actually. You have to play the game with strategy, not, oh, let me hurry up and take as much as I can from this sub. Gimme. Oh, send. Fuck you, give me the money. Oh my God, I don't care. Don't take your medicine. Don't go to the doctor's office. Gimme. Calm down. Calm down. In order to get more money from these men, you need to do your due diligence when you are starting the relationship. Standard questions to ask. I talk about this all the time inside of our course, but standard questions. What do you do for a living? Some of you guys make it seem like the questions are so complex. I don't know what to say. How do I get to know someone? As if you've never talked to a guy before. What do you do for a living? Where do you work? What is your career day-to-day like? Do you enjoy your job? Are you on a fixed income? You're old. Teehee, can you keep up with me? Or are you going to have a heart attack? Are you wearing a pacemaker? I wouldn't want to do something that makes your pacemaker skip a few beats because you're old. It's not that complicated to come up with some very simple questions to ask these guys so that you know who you're dealing with. Are you married? If you're married, or if you're not married, why not? If you are married, does your wife know what you're doing? If she doesn't know what you're doing, what would happen if she found out about this? If she does know what you're doing, how does she feel about it? These are very simple questions. These are not complex thoughts, you guys. It's not It's a lot more complicated than posting your Cash App and begging for money and panhandling, but it's not rocket science either. If you've ever talked to a guy in any capacity, the same kind of questions apply here too. And I think what a lot of women come to understand when they get over their heads in trying to be a financial dominatrix is that they don't actually know how to establish connections with any kind of man, whether it was about fendom, dom sub relationships or not. Some of you guys are realizing that you really don't know how to talk to guys at all, how to interact with other humans at all. You're very introverted, non-social, and you don't know how to be friends with other women or talk to men or talk to other people at all. Because these aren't complex questions, you know? And then you want to get into, you know, the nitty-gritty of enthusiastic consent. What kinds of things do you like? What kinds of things does he like, sexually speaking? Has he explored female domination before, or is this something that is extremely new to him? And if he has experienced female domination before, why does he like this? Why is he attracted to dominant female women or dominant women? Why is he attracted to kink or BDSM, right? These are standard questions that anybody can think of when you have enough curiosity about the person that you're talking to on the other side of the phone. And I'm not saying this to bash you guys, but I'm saying this as a wake-up call so that some of you realize that you're not serious about this line of work. Because all of the questions that I just mentioned, you could have thought of yourself, right? If you had a genuine interest in the person that you're talking to, you could have thought of those questions yourself. Some of you guys genuinely don't have a genuine interest in talking to men and talking to women and socializing with anyone. And that's why you struggle in financial domination. Financial domination is very much so a social butterflies playground. You can get connections and opportunities based off of people that you know and based off of relationships that you've built. But if you're not willing to build the relationship, you have no genuine interest to know the person that you're talking to in any capacity, yeah, it'll be really easy to be like, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to build the relationship. I don't know what to do. What do I do? Fendom isn't easy as being a panhandler, but like I said, it's also not rocket science either. If you have a genuine curiosity to get to understand the mind of your submissives, if you have a genuine curiosity to get to understand the psychological or pathological thoughts or ideas of submissive men, if you're curious about the way that people's minds work, if you're the type of person that likes to pick someone's brain and really get to know how this person thinks, fendom is going to be really easy for you. Absolutely. But if you are the type of person that only talks to people that you already know and you don't like to socialize, you don't like to go outside, you don't like to do anything, you're not going to be successful. You're not going to be successful with men. You're not going to be successful with other women and doing collaborations with those other women. Because again, this is a social butterflies playground. I've gotten opportunities, you know, thanks to just being connected to a sub, not even just like, oh, we did a session and he, you know, hooked me up with this or that. Like, no, he likes my vibe. We've had some great conversations. Opportunity came up. He said my fucking name. I landed the opportunity. That is truly networking in action. Yeah. And relationship building and connection building. That's the kind of stuff that gets you in rooms. That's the kind of stuff that gets you opportunities. You got to talk to people. You got to be realistic. And here's the thing. If you don't want to talk to subs, don't do sex work and financial domination. If you don't have a desire to go outside and go to parties or do online work, which is creating content, or in-person work, which is doing sessions or whatever else, don't do financial domination. Some of you guys are coming into this community thinking that, again, from a place of internalized misogyny, if we're being honest with each other, you're coming into the community thinking that from a place of internalized misogyny that fendom is easy because you think sex work is easy. Oh, anybody can do sex work. All you got to do is lay on your back and play with your pussy on OnlyFans. Except when you tried to do just that, it didn't work out for you at all. Because it was always way more complicated than just laying on your back and opening your legs. It was always more complicated than that. Right? But if you are a closeted misogynist because of how misogynist your mother or your father were when you were growing up, when you would talk about strippers or maybe prostitutes that you saw in your neighborhood, or your pastor was a fucking misogynist, right? Because we all know Christianity is misogyny in action. So your pastor, the preacher, the rabbi, the Muslim nigga, whatever, they're misogynists, and that's all you've grown up around. Yeah, you will have some closeted, underhanded ideas about sex work and the fact that it's morally wrong or degrading or whatever other shit y'all say. And then that translates into your level of understanding and success. Sometimes you guys come into my comment section and say things that are rude and disrespectful, and you don't see that it's rude or disrespectful because you don't know that you're being misogynist. Like, I had one young lady in the comments earlier when I was on TikTok was saying, oh my God, like I saw, how successful you are, and I really want to do fendom, but how can I do this without degrading myself? I'm feeling like I'm going to degrade myself. So you saw a sex worker and you saw how much money she's making, because that's the reality. And now you want to do what we're doing, not because you have a genuine desire to do it, but you're a fucking check chaser and clout chaser. And you want me to tell you how to do sex work without degrading yourself. Bitch, are you trying to insinuate that I'm degrading myself? I make $15,000 a month minimum. I'm not degrading myself. But again, if you're a fucking misogynist and you don't know that you have internalized misogyny because of some shitty shit that your dad used to say, or that your mother used to say, or your grandmother used to say, or jokes that you've made about OnlyFans girls until you found out how much money they was making, who's the one that has questionable morals now, if we're really going to talk about it? Who's the one that really has questionable judgment and questionable morals? Me, the one who knows that I'm safe and I'm doing legal sex work and I'm happy with what I'm doing and I'm empowered in all of my choices and I never have to do anything I don't want to do and I make a good amount of money doing this? Or you, the girl who's always made fun of sex workers, always casted us out to the side, and now you see that we make way more money than you could ever fucking imagine for yourself, and now you want to jump on the bandwagon for a check? Who has more questionable morals, me or you? It's always going to be you in that example, right? So you a lot of you guys, and it's going to continue to become a trend. The TikTok pay pig trend is not the first time that fendom has gone viral. This is a seasonal thing. From March to July, everybody finds out about financial domination on the internet. It's hot outside. It's the summertime. Girls want sugar daddies, and all this other shit because their 9-to-5s don't pay them enough, even though they claim they got a 9-to-5 because they got morals. I could never be at a job that don't pay me enough and call it me having morals and values. I could never kiss my boss's ass for 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, for a check that barely pays my motherfucking rent, and tell myself that I got more morals and values than somebody else who had the courage to quit their job and pursue an entrepreneurial endeavor that turned around and helped them make more money than they could ever make in their fucking life. Right? But here's the thing. There's always going to be the summertime influx of girls who look at what we do and think that it's fucking easy and that they can jump on the bandwagon. It's always going to happen without fail. Hold on. Okay, period. We got a new student in here. New student in the building. New student in the building. I'm definitely getting these verification things taken care of. And then you have other students who come into our community fast, hot, and heavy, again, thinking that it's going to be easy, thinking that, you know, things are going to, you know, just magically fall out of the sky. And then they don't show up for classes. They're not in the group chat. They don't check in. They don't take it serious. And they wind up falling off, burning themselves out, or whatever the fuck else. Like, oh, fendom is a scam. Fendom is a scam. And it's like, no, it's actually not a scam. You just thought the shit was going to be fucking easy. You just thought that you was going to start financial domination May 26th. And then by the 31st, you was finna have 10K. Where they do that at? That's not possible for anybody in any career field. For you to start a brand new business, no followers, no credentials, no clientele, and then 72 hours later, because it's sex work, you gonna have 10 bands? No, ma'am. That's a dumbass, that's misogyny. If we being honest, that's misogyny. Because there are so many girls who make literally nothing. And the fact that I make so much money and my students make so much money, it's becoming a norm for girls to come on the internet and lie about how much money they're making so that they can get I guess the illusion of wealth or clout that the girls who have actually been busting their ass to put in the work to get have. Right? I said it myself when I hit my first $30,000 month back in February, right? And I made it publicly known that I hit my first $30,000 month back in February of this year. And I said, watch how all these girls come out the woodwork to try to say that they pushing 30K too. And they did. Right? Those of y'all who've been following me for a little minute, you see the industry trends. I know I do. I hit 30K, my first 30K month in February of 2025. And I said, watch this. I bet by the summertime, it'll be nothing but bitches on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter talking about how they made 30K. And they only been in the industry 6 months. The level of passive income that you have to have, clientele that you have to have, followers that you have to have in order to hit 30K, you cannot establish something like that in 6 months' time. I don't give a fuck what bitch tell you that they could. They can't. You can't. 6 months in, you don't have an established stream of income in any entrepreneurial endeavor. Passive income. Passive meaning you're not working actively over and over and over again for that money. In 6 months' time, you're still building up your followers. In 6 months' time, you're still learning BDSM safety practices and consent and sanitation. In 6 months' time, you just started to get some engagement on your posts on social media. You're not hitting $30,000 fucking dollars. And it's sad that some of you guys are falling for the bait with the scams But the scams are very obviously scams. You know, the scams are very obviously scams. If this girl on TikTok comes on here and tells you she made $30,000 and she just started fendom last week, how don't you see that as a big ass red flag? She started doing sex work last week. She still don't have no followers, no content, no clue about what she doing, but she got $30,000. That's not real. Versus the girl who telling you, I've been in this industry for 8 years. I have multiple different streams of income. I've busted my ass to get here. I know how to build clientele. I know how to market myself. I do in-person work. I'm not afraid to be on camera. And I made $30,000. That's realistic. That's realistic. There's no business endeavor in any industry that you can start where you finna go from 0 to $1 million overnight. Literally. Hairstylists don't, if you a brand new hairstylist, you a brand new esthetician, you don't start off with 100 bands and 40,000 followers. You make a new account, you got what? 0 followers. Then you have to prove yourself by creating content and marketing yourself as a professional to get clientele, right? And sometimes that may take a few months, that may take a few years, it may take even longer than that. It may take you going back to the drawing board and figuring out how to make your content better. It may take you going back to the drawing board and realizing, okay, I shouldn't charge, these low prices because I'm attracting cheap clients that's asking for me to do the most and they not paying me that much. You're still very much learning how to run your business. You don't start a business and then expect immediate profits, insane profits, in 3 days, 3 weeks, 6 months. You don't. The average business takes a year to get established. And then on top of that year that it takes the average business to get started, most average businesses fail within the first 3 years. So the reality is, for any entrepreneurial endeavor, it's going to take at least 3 years of you being consistent, professional, and pushing yourself and pushing your content and marketing yourself. At least 3 years for you to truly get fully established in any industry. In any industry, whether it's sex work or not. Because again, the idea that sex work is easy and all you got to do is lay on your back or post your Cash App and beg for money is misogyny in action. That's an idea created by men who hate women, who have found a way to profit off of an industry that otherwise will sexualize and degrade them. The idea that sex work is easy and all you got to do is lay on your back or post your Cash App and beg for money is misogyny created by men who do not like that women in an industry where black women have been historically trafficked, raped, killed, abused, held against their will for the profit of white men. White men have created the idea that as a woman who now is able to get paid from it on her own and keep her sense of autonomy and power and empowerment. Oh, well, anybody can do that. That's easy. Because he's a fucking misogynist. And when you as a woman grow up hearing that same shit from your mother, your father, your grandmother, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your pastor, your preacher, your rabbi, that's how you act. Oh, y'all hear the jokes? Oh, my job ain't paying me enough. I'ma start on OnlyFans. Oh, I just got fired. I'ma start dancing. LOL. Because you think the shit is easy. Because you are actually a fucking misogynist. It's not easy. It's quite difficult. It's not rocket science, but it ain't easy. Right? It ain't elementary, but it ain't rocket science. Hold on. I need to review her ID. Okay. Do you love the way I'm doing? I love your body. Do you love the way I'm doing? I love your body. Okay. Betty, Betty, Wetty, Betty, Freddy. Period. She got all her verification stuff done in one fell sweep. I didn't have to chase her down for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days to get her fucking verification information. And now she is in. Financial domination is truly only for people who know that this is sex work, have already checked their internalized misogyny around doing sex work, being a sex worker, because some girls would be like, it doesn't have to be sex work, because for me, I know that it can be sex work for other people, but it's not for me because I'm not showing anything. That's misogyny too. Just because you a sex worker don't mean everything that you fucking do now is overtly sexual. I'm a sex worker right now sitting here talking to you. My pussy ain't out. I ain't fucking nobody. Ain't no dick in my mouth. I'm still a sex worker. Right? Again, the internalized misogyny will play out in a lot of fucked up ways than you realize. Oh, well, how do I create content? Because I don't wanna show anything. Who said you had to? Or is that a sense of internalized misogyny that you have about women who are comfortable in their body autonomy, who make a conscious decision to show their bodies as sex workers? Again, maternalized or internalized misogyny. Misogynoir. Misogyny. So when you think about, oh, well, I really do want to get into fendom. I've been seeing this online. I'm interested in trying it out. Answer some questions for yourself first. Is this something I can really see myself investing in long term? Why am I attracted to this? Do I really want to actually do it? Or am I just desperate for money and I see that other girls are making way more money in this than I make at my job, and I'm jealous and I'm desperate and I'm money hungry or whatever the fuck else? Because people always make jokes about sex workers and OnlyFans girls being desperate, and that's why we do sex work. Except when y'all see us sharing screenshots of how much money we make, y'all are the ones that actually become desperate and beg us for advice and all of these other things so that you can try to make the same amount of money. But you discredit us, and you discredit how much work we put in to get to that point. You discredit the labor and the effort and intention that goes into creating the content. You discredit how many years that we failed. You discredit how many times we didn't have nobody sending money. You discredit how many times we may have struggled. You don't look at none of that shit. You just, oh, well, you on OnlyFans playing with your pussy and you got 30K. It must be easy. Teach me how to do it. You discredit the fact that I'm a professionally trained filmmaker and photographer who studied in West Africa. You discredit the fact that I've been blackmailed and doxxed before to my family, and I've had to deal with their horophobia and literal fucking financial and physical abuse because I was doxxed to them. You discredit the fact that I've been fucking homeless before, and I've used sex work to recover from being fucking homeless. You discredit the fact that I've been doing this for 8 fucking years. And I've busted my ass, and I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars investing into myself to get to the point where I'm making 6 fucking figures. And how difficult that is for anybody in any entrepreneurial endeavor to do. You discredit all of those things because, oh, she a sex worker, so it must be easy. What? 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 No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And people don't like it. People don't like when I talk about it. People will try to make up whatever other stories and say, oh, she's mean, or she talks down to new girls. And it's like, no, I'm actually not. I'm checking you about your fucking misogyny. I'm checking you so that you don't look at me and think, oh, she must have grew up with a silver spoon in her mouth. Oh, she a sex worker. She had it easy. She just do this, that, and the third. No, bitch, I got this shit out the motherfucking mud. And I'm making it look great. It's not a lot of bitches in this world that can say they make 6 figures off of fucking sex work. Ho, this shit ain't easy. So have some respect when you look at me and when you talk to me, nigga. Because this shit not easy. It's girls out here that's getting killed in the same community that we in. It's girls out here going on cash meets, thinking that they about to link up with a sub who about to give them some money, and them bitches don't come home that day because that fucking fake ass sub kills them. Because she was too worried about the dollar sign and the money that he was potentially offering to her that she didn't do enough screening. She didn't collect a deposit. She didn't take his ID. And she ends up dying, getting killed by somebody that's supposed to be a sub. It's girls out here that go to parties and get sexually assaulted and raped and killed and go home in body bags, trying to be a financial dominatrix, trying to be a spicy worker, trying to be a dancer, trying to be a porn star. This is not some happy-go-lucky, oh, shits and giggles, everything's easy for us, we got it so good type of thing. This is an ugly, dirty, fucked up industry that has the potential to ruin your fucking life, fuck up your mental health, fuck up your fucking bag, ruin relationships that you in, kill any type of vanilla career that you got. And if you are blessed enough and hardworking enough to make something good for yourself out of this shit, you are fucking blessed, because millions of people can't say the same. Again, in an industry that started 400 years ago off of the illegal sex trafficking, enslavement, and rape of black women. And we turning it into a female empowerment statement of reparations and sexual empowerment today, 400 years later. This is transmutation in action. Thank you for sharing so much of your story so raw and uncut. The raw and uncut is what y'all need, because the raw and uncut is the truth. The raw and uncut is how I got to 6 figures. You don't just suddenly become homeless and then use fucking sex work to scale to a sky-rise apartment and a brand new car after your parents physically have abused you for 21 years, and then when someone doxed you to them about you being a sex worker, they continue to physically abuse you and now financially abuse you. You don't survive something like that and just look at that person and be like, oh, well, you lucky, it must have just been easy because you a whore, and that's just how it is. Bitch, what? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And some people may feel like it's me over explaining myself or all this other shit, but the reality is y'all gotta know who the fuck you actually talking to when you talking to me. Y'all gotta know when you watching my YouTube videos on the replays and all this other shit, who the fuck I actually am. What the fuck I've actually been through. Don't just look at me and think, oh, I got it easy. I bust my ass for this shit every fucking day. Every fucking day. Whether I'm online with y'all talking to you or not, I'm busting my ass. Whether I got subs lining up to give me thousands of dollars that day or I don't, I'm still grinding. You don't look at me and don't look at my students, don't look at us, don't look at fendom and think that we got it easy, because we don't. This shit is hard. We make it look easy. But in order to make it look easy, you got to do some hard fucking work. So it's possible. It's not terribly impossible. Like I said, it ain't elementary, but it damn sure ain't rocket science neither. You got to have the hustle. You got to have the dedication. You got to put the time in to make it happen. And you got to be patient with yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you looking at the next lying ass bitch like, oh, I made $30,000 in 1 week. Yeah, of course you're going to feel like shit when you only had $500 that month. The bitch is lying. You making more money than she's actually making in real life, but because you so pressed about this lie that she's telling, you feel like you're not doing enough or you're not good enough. When 9 times out of 10, if you can come up with even $500, if we being honest with each other, if you can come up with even $500 a month in sex work, you're doing better than so many fucking people. If you can come up with at least $500 in sex work on a monthly basis, you are doing better than so many fucking people. But if you look at the bitch that's lying for clout on TikTok and saying that she got 30K, of course you gonna feel like you're not doing enough. Why you think it's so easy to get in the top 5%, the top 1% on OnlyFans? I've talked about this lots and lots of times. Same thing with loyal fans as well. Why do you think it's so easy for you to get $2,000 on OnlyFans and suddenly now be in the top 1%? Because most of the bitches on OnlyFans is not pushing $1,000 a month. All it takes for you to get in the top 1% on OnlyFans is for you to make more than $2,000. The average OnlyFans bitch is not making $2,000 a month. That's why it's so easy to get into the top 1%. And if you a clout chasing bitch that don't know how to market, that hasn't invested into your career, you don't take your career serious and all this other shit, it's going to be just as easy for you to come on the internet and lie and say that you made $100,000, $600,000, $1 million on OnlyFans so that you can get clout and attention, and then use the clout and attention to then try to make that same amount of money on OnlyFans. The same thing happened a few years ago where we saw an influx in our industry on the OnlyFans content creator side when Bella Thorne, the Disney Channel bitch, said that she made $1 million on OnlyFans. She made $1 million on OnlyFans because she's a Disney Channel actor who have probably always had pedophiles gooning after her since she was a kid on Disney Channel. And she connected the dots and got paid for it. That wasn't about her skill as a content creator. That wasn't about work that she had to actually put in as a sex worker to build up her followers or anything like that. She was a former Disney Channel child actress that got $1 million off of horny perverts who have been jacking it to her since she was a child on Disney Channel. That's a lot less sexy than saying, oh, I just so happened to have an OnlyFans that made me $1 million. The reality of it is not, you know what I'm saying? The headline that's going to get the clout and attention is that Bella Thorne, former Disney Channel star, makes an OnlyFans and makes $1 million. That's the headline that attracts attention. That's the headline that gets you clout. The reality is that this former Disney Channel star made $1 million off of OnlyFans based on a bunch of niggas that used to jerk it when she was a kid. The level of attention that this headline gets and this one gets are totally different. But this one is the one that's the truth. And it's hard to swallow. But you need to hear it because that's actually what's happening. Right? Bad Barbie, that other bitch from Catch Me Outside with Dr. Phil. She made $1 million on OnlyFans. She was a minor who was over-sexualized since she was on Dr. Phil. And she made her OnlyFans. And guess who subscribed? A bunch of pedophiles. So yeah, you can congratulate her for making $1 million off of a bunch of pedophiles. But when you look at it from the real lens that it is she really in a good mindset knowing that she just made a bunch of money off of a bunch of pedophiles? No. But that's the reality. That's the reality. Right? Like I said, it takes only $2,000 a month for you to be in the top 1% on OnlyFans. Try it if you don't believe me. The average bitch is not making $2,000 a month, right? That means 99% of the bitches on OnlyFans is making less than $2,000. It's smoke and mirrors. And when you see through the smoke and mirrors, you'll actually get to the core of what this industry is and how fucked up it can be and how beautiful it can be for other people. Because as shitty and as fucked up as the sex industry is, there are girls who are actually making $15,000 a month, $30,000 a month. And that's beautiful, considering how fucked up and shitty this world and this industry is. But you can't discredit them women and try to slap, oh, that shit easy, that's nothing, on in their face when they tell you that they doing that. Because it's not easy. And the average bitch ain't doing it. You got to be super bitch to come up with 15 bands in 1 month when the average bitch is making less than $2,000. You got to be one hard-working asshole. And a smart one at that. Safe, right? Not putting yourself in physical harm's way. Not doing sessions with subs that are dangerous, that could potentially harm you, rape you, kill you, rob you. Creating content that people actually want to see and that's profitable. And then continuing to create content when the other ones don't sell. Some of y'all only consistent when the money coming in. And that's why the money stops coming in, because you're only consistent when you're making money. People who are serious about their entrepreneurial endeavors put the work in to build their business, even when that business is not making them money. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of women, whether they're in the sex industry or not, are not successful as entrepreneurs. Because they only want to work, they only want to post content, they only want to be enthusiastic about their business when the business is doing good. And when the money dries up, the sales slow down, the clients go away, they also disappear. But that's also why it continues to happen to them, because they're not consistent. Consistency does not mean just putting in the work when the money's coming in. Consistency means showing up day after day and working with the same level of enthusiasm and integrity and excitement when the money's coming in and when it's not. So, if you want to start making more money from your subs, if you want to start making more money in financial domination this summer, sit with yourself. Is what I'm doing really worth it? Because I have been inconsistent. I haven't really showed up. So am I really dedicated to this, or should I just go ahead and throw in the towel and find something else to do? And it's okay if you decide to say that, yeah, let me throw in the towel, because the reality is when you leave your page and you stop posting content for 6 months straight, you've already thrown in the towel and abandoned your business. And then you come back for another few weeks, you try to get some sends, it don't work out, you get frustrated and burnt out again, and now you disappear for another 90 days. That's already you giving up, so you might as well fully give up and delete your profile. Let's be honest. You might as well fully give up and delete your profile if you only going to take financial domination seriously 3 weeks out of the 365. You're already not taking it seriously. Just delete the profile. Consistency is about putting in the work even when the money is not coming in. Showing up even when the subs aren't fucking there. Investing the time into improving your business even when you have no clients. That's what makes you an entrepreneur. That's what makes you successful. That's how you get to 6 figures. And then the very standard, like we said in the beginning, actually giving a fuck about getting to know the person that you're supposed to be dominating. It's sexy and cute to say that you don't care about your subs and all of this other shit, but that's why y'all don't have no money. It's sexy and cute to say, oh, all subs are just objects and I don't need to get to know you or talk to you in order for me to get the money. But you not doing those things is why the money is so inconsistent. And it's not rocket science to get to know somebody. You just have to have a genuine interest in that person. What do you do for a living? And actually listen. Do you like your job? And actually pay attention. How much money are you making? Are you on a fixed income? Are you married? Why do you like BDSM and female domination? Why are you attracted to this kind of stuff? And then actually give a fuck about the response. Because otherwise, how are you going to dominate someone you know nothing about? How is someone who knows nothing about you supposed to just be willing and ready to get down on the ground and submit to you? He knows nothing about you. He's just supposed to submit because you call yourself a dominant and he calls himself a submissive and you cute? No. In that case, he would be submitting to every bitch on the planet. Why should he submit to you? Why should he trust you? What have you done to build any form of trust or connection with him? What have you done to build or open communication with him so that he feels safe exploring his submissive sexuality with you, a random stranger he met on the internet that's on the other side of the country? Y'all are asking your subs to do things that is like outlandish. Like you want men, just because they're submissive, to get on the ground and give you their life savings because you posted a picture on Twitter one time 2 months ago and you haven't been on there since, and now you on here again randomly asking for a cash app, and you want random guys to just dump their bank accounts into your pockets? Make that make sense. Where they do that at? Let me know. Do you, when random people ask you for money, right? When the homeless man on the street asks you for $1, do you give him $1 or do you give him $30,000 out your bank account? Cause he homeless and he asks you for money. When you go to a store and you buying something, you trying to shop at a boutique or some shit like that, do you go to the store and spend your money based on the product and the quality of products that's in the store that you like? Or do you go to the store because the person who owns the store made a sad story on TikTok about how they about to be homeless and they need some help, so please come shop at their store? Be for real. You can't expect fendom to now suddenly be out of the scope of reality as if this is just like some magical fucking world where men just charity case give us whatever we want and we don't have to do nothing, and there's no rules to this, or there's no risk to this. It's just like the mindset is crazy. The mindset is crazy. And I'm not bashing nobody. I'm not saying none of the things that I'm saying to bash any fucking body. Absolutely the fuck not. I'm saying this shit, like she said earlier, to give y'all the raw deal. Bitch, if you finna be serious about this shit, let me take your fucking hand and knock some fucking sense into you before you start doing this shit. Don't come in here with no rah-rah. Don't come in here with that bullshit. If you really want some help, I will absolutely put you on. I'm that person. I will absolutely put you the fuck on. But first and foremost, ho, we gonna have a real deal fucking conversation about what the fuck this is and what the fuck it's not. And if I catch you saying some dumbass shit, I'ma check you about it. It's all love. It's always love. It's never disrespect. It's always love, because I don't want you out here looking dumb. I don't want you out here going through scams or going through shit I had to go through with these ain't shit ass subs, cheap ass men who want you to do a bunch of gross ass shit. Like somebody earlier asked me about what were my first couple of subs like? And I haven't talked about that shit in a while because that shit is traumatizing. That diaper motherfucker that worked at Papa John's, Pizza Hut, whatever the fuck. Back when I was a brand new dom, didn't know no fucking better, and was taking gift cards in exchange for tributes and doing sessions that I literally did not want to do.
Okay, period. My phone overheated, y'all. I thought I had lost y'all. Right in the middle. We was getting so good, and it's 111 angel numbers in the building. My phone had overheated because we talking about some real hot shit. Clearly, I love you guys too. TikTok unfortunately made it a trend, just like we stripping has become popular on YouTube and Instagram. Where there's a trend, people will move on as usual. Absolutely. So just like I was telling my students, because some of my students was like, oh my God, like I'm really getting so tired of every time I scroll on TikTok, I see pay pig trend, pay pig trend, pay pig trend. I've already told them, this is an industry trend, bro. I've seen this shit play out for the last 8 years. Like I said earlier, from like March to July, everybody and their mother want to be a fendom. And to those of y'all who are in that crowd, I'm not blaming you, and y'all taking it serious. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with that. Because if you just so happen to come across it while it is in peak season and you are taking it serious and you are going to lock in and make sure that you do shit right so that you can protect yourself, you can stay safe, you can keep your subs safe or whatever else, more power to you, babe. That's why I'm here. Literally. But what you got to know is forever. It's always going to be a trend. From March to July, Everybody and their mother want to be a fendom. It happened on Instagram. It happened on Twitter. It happened on Clubhouse before TikTok was even a thing. I was responsible for it happening on Clubhouse. But look, I'm not a scammer, so don't put me in that mix. I made it go viral, but I made it go viral for a positive reason, not for no negative fucked up shit. Okay, so I'm not taking credit for all that other shit. But it's that season, and then come July, going into August, where these girls have been, oh, I tried fendom for 90 days and I didn't make 30K like the girl on TikTok said. Yeah, no shit. No shit, you didn't make 30K in 90 days. No shit. You don't have no followers. I just went on to my fucking my YouTube studio shit, and it just told me that today is my 2-year anniversary of my YouTube channel. I got 4,356 subscribers on this motherfucker. That's a lot. Okay? But it took me, obviously, clearly, 2 years to some people, to only get to 4,356 subscribers. That's a lot of fucking work. Because it's a lot of bitches with YouTube channels that been on YouTube for much longer and don't have no fucking subscribers. No fucking views. And they post way more content than I do. You hear me? It's girls who have had their YouTube channel way longer than I have, because clearly, according to YouTube, I've only had this channel for 2 years. And at first, it was dedicated to tarot readings. It wasn't even dedicated to me giving fendom advice. I made more subscribers and more views when I started talking about fendom on YouTube. But it's girls out here, thank you for the heart, who've had a YouTube channel since they was in middle school. And they post content every motherfucking day. And don't get no views, don't get no engagement, don't have 4,000 fucking subscribers yet. This shit is hard. But if I was to lie and jump on TikTok and be like, ooh, I made my YouTube channel last week and I already got 4,000 followers, subscribers. Here's my ebook and here's my course on how to do it, I'd be lying. And bitches who don't know no better would eat it the fuck up, even though I'm fucking lying, because we all know that that's what the fuck they be doing. Right? So after this summer, come like end of July, August, it's starting to get a little cold again. Everybody going to want to, ain't nobody going to be outside at the parties and all this other shit. Hot girl summer is over. They're going to be like, damn, I tried fendom for the summer and I ain't make no money, so it must be a scam. I'm going to go ahead and abandon my account or delete my account. So trust me, come July, end of July, August, all of these girls that you see, half of them, not going to make it that far. And they're not going to not make it that far because it's impossible for you to get money in this industry. I need y'all to know that. They're not going to not make it that far because it's incredibly impossible for you to make money. It's absolutely not. They're not going to make it that far because they have unrealistic expectations and they have not actually put no fucking work in. They're not going to have no realistic, right? Oh, I'm going to do fendom for the summer. I'm going to run up 30 days. If you think that you're about to start a brand new business and in 90 days you're going to run up $3,000 even though you ain't got no followers, no clue what you actually doing, no clientele, you's a dumbass bitch. I hate to say it like that, but you's a dumbass bitch, because why would you set your goals so fucking high and then not even realizing how much consistency you got to put in, and then when it don't happen, you like, oh, this shit a scam. No, bitch, you shot yourself in the foot. Like, you was, I'm not telling bitches not to overachieve or shoot for the stars, but like, be realistic. Let's say, for example, you start fendom this month. In the next 90 days, a realistic goal would be for you to have $1,000, in profit. Maybe not $1,000 day just yet, $1,000 all in one day. Maybe you're not at that point just yet in the first 90 days, But 3 months of consistent work could get you $1,000. Absolutely. Over time, over that 3 month period. That's realistic. Because again, you got to build up your followers. You got to figure out what you're doing. You got to figure out what kind of content you want to create. You got to figure out how to do it from your phone because you don't have no professional camera. You got to figure out how to stop using Snapchat filters and actually take better quality pictures. You got to buy a shit ton of lingerie. And if you think, oh, well, I'm going to just do foot content, don't nobody want to see them crusty ass toes. You're going to have to get your feet done instead of once a month. You're going to have to get your feet done like once a week for 90 days straight in order to build up enough quality foot fetish content. Some of y'all can't afford to go to the nail salon once a week. I don't even go to the nail salon once a week, and I make a lot of money. And I still don't even go to the nail salon once a week. Right? It's so much into it. Like your first 90 days, you're supposed to be figuring stuff out and having fun with it and just enjoying the process. Just enjoy the process. Just enjoy the ride of it. Just have fun with it. Fendom is supposed to be fun. Yes, it can be stressful. Yes, it can be challenging, but this shit is supposed to be fun, bruh. If you're not having fun with talking, I have fun talking to my subs. Like, I know a lot of girls be like, I don't want to talk to subs. I have fun talking to my subs. Yes, talk to me. Call me goddess all motherfucking day. Tell me all motherfucking day how you willing to do everything and anything for me. Get down on the ground on video chat and put that shit up your ass. Do all of it. I love every single moment of it. Make content. Then you gotta be like, well, what kind of content should I make? Do whatever the fuck you want to do, bitch. It's sex work. Play with your pussy. Read a book. Smoke a cigarette. Put your feet in the camera. Fart. Go to sleep. I don't know. Do something. Something that you feel like is fun. I'm grown. I'm 29. Damn near 30 years old. I done been through a whole lot of shit. So, excuse me if I like to play with my pussy on the internet sometimes. Shoot me. Maybe don't shoot me, but like, what the fuck? Excuse me. Me playing with my coochie on the internet is much easier than me working at Amazon like I did when I was fucking 19. And my mama said I was a bitch and I couldn't sleep in her house while she was going to work because I had just graduated from high school, so I had to hurry up and get a fucking job instead of enjoying my fucking childhood. Excuse me if after all of this shit that I done been through by being doxxed, that by working all of these fucking jobs, by being a fucking teacher in the school system and getting fucking attacked by my student, excuse me if I'd much rather flick the bean on loyal fans. I'm grown though. I can do that. And if I don't feel like doing that today, then I won't do that today. I'll do something else. I'll go to the pool. I'll hang out with my dog. I'll smoke some weed in my car. I'll write a book. I'll cry a little bit. I'll go to therapy. But I'm doing me. Find something that works for you. If that's not what works for you, then what does work for you? Is it smoking? Is it twerking? Is it dancing? Is it stripping? Is it fucking blowing up balloons and sitting on them? Is it smashing a cake with your ass? What the fuck is it? Because you're going to have to do something. So what you finna do? Bust a move. Hoe. You're going to be a hoe no matter what you do. You're going to be a hoe if you showing your pussy. You're going to be a hoe if you wear a turtleneck. You're going to be a hoe if you blowing up balloons. You're going to be a hoe if you chewing bubble gum. You're going to be a hoe if you in a bikini. And you're going to be a hoe if you in a fucking burqa and niggas can only see your fucking eyeballs. You're going to be a whore either way you cut it. So you might as well do something.
Something happened with the Bluetooth. I should have turned the Bluetooth off. I thought I did. But anyway, like I was saying, now that the Bluetooth is turned off, I was saying that I use Miss B Nasty as an example of being a content creator and how certain girls will flock to us because they see what we're doing and they see how much money we're making and they don't have any creative ideas on their own, so they just do what the next person's doing. So the example that I was given is how Miss B Nasty is famous for playing with herself in her car. I'm not shading her for saying this at all. She found something that she enjoys. She does it because she enjoys it, and that works for her. But if you don't feel like you finger popping yourself in your fucking vehicle is what you're gonna enjoy, then why the fuck would you do that? Right? Some girls would just be like, well, that's what she does to make money, and I just want to make money, so I'm just gonna do what she's doing. Talk about corrupting your morals and values and beliefs. Hello? My morals is intact. Y'all ain't never gonna see me doing shit I don't want to do. So if you see me doing it, it's because I wanted to do it. Which means mind your business, because I'm a grown, consenting adult. You ain't finna see me doing shit I don't want to do. I'm not about to be sucking no dick. Ain't no bunch of men about to be lining up running no train on me. Ain't no bunch of guys about to be coming and busting on my face or slapping me or talking to me crazy and talking to me disrespectful. I don't align with that type of stuff. Some girls like getting trains ran on them. Some girls like having a bunch of guys bust on their face. That's why they do that, because they like that. That's their sexual kink. You might not see it as a kink, but girls, their kink is having a bunch of niggas bust on their face. That's not mine. So I'm not going to do that. And you're not going to see that happen from me. But I might smoke a joint and talk some shit. I might show my titty. You know, I might pop I might, you know what I'm saying? I might pop the titty out every now and then. Okay? I might shake my ass. Okay? Hello? Because that's what I like. That's what I enjoy. That's what I want to do. That's my kink. I'm an exhibitionist. I don't have no shame in it. You can watch me. Period. I've always been the naked neighbor. Even when I was downtown in the skyrise, butt ass naked in front of them big ass windows, knowing damn well people could see me. Didn't give a fuck. Do what makes you happy. Find what makes you happy. Check your internalized misogyny and really ask yourself, is what I'm about to do really in alignment with who I am, what I'm interested in, and what I want to sexually explore for myself? Fendom is yes, a profitable way to make money, but it's also a sexual discovery journey for you to discover your dominant side and really explore that side of your sexuality, of your personality. Lots of women, especially my students, lots of women get into this with me and realize, like, damn, like, I thought I was signing up for a class about learning how to finesse niggas on the internet, and now I'm on this whole spiritual, magical fucking journey of self-discovery, and I know more things about myself now, and I'm more confident in speaking up about what I want from my relationship and my sexual partners and all of these things that I didn't even expect when I signed up for this class. You know? So really take this as the opportunity that it is for you to discover yourself, for you to figure out what really works for you, and find something, you know, find a way to make it fun, because the whole point of this is, you know, this is not supposed to be like, because now I'm getting hot and I need to go back in and get into the air conditioner. But this is supposed to be an opportunity for you to make something different than your 9 to 5 career. Yes, both of my hands are on the wheel. I am 100% hands free. My phone is in the little thing, so calm down. I'm completely focused. But like, this isn't supposed to feel like your shitty 9 to 5 career. This is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be a different, like schedule, like work schedule. You have more flexibility doing this than you had at your 9 to 5. And if you're not having fun with this, you're not enjoying the process. That's my money affirmation. So let me pause real quick and say them real quick. I am a magnet for wealth and abundance. Oh, I am a magnet for wealth and abundance. 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 Okay. But like I said, this ain't supposed to be like, yes, it has its challenges, it has its hardships, it has its times where shit is slow, and you gotta, hustle. You gotta make shit work. But like, if you're not having fun and you just treat this like, this just another job, I'm just trying to hurry up and get a bag and do whatever I need to do, even if it's stuff that I don't like doing, you're gonna be fucking miserable. And what's the point of doing that? You could have been miserable at your fucking 9 to 5. You could have been miserable at your job. You could be miserable at Amazon if you just gonna do whatever. If you just going to just be mad and angry and bitter and do whatever for some fucking money, you could have been picking up boxes and putting them bitches down for $15 an hour and would have had more consistent money. Then you wouldn't have been, fully happy. But like, shit, if you ask me if I want to do sex work, even though I'm really not interested in doing sex work, or if I want to work at Amazon, I'm always finna pick Amazon, right? People don't do sex work and fall in love with this shit and wind up making a whole career out of it because they hate what the fuck they do. People don't adult entertainment for eons and peons of years because they just doing shit for the money and they don't like talking to subs or interacting with people or networking or anything like that. Those of us who stay in this industry 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, we like what we do. We are really passionate about what we do, and we're really good at it too. We're really good at it. The marketing of it, the magic of it, the making it look good, turning the mundane into something beautiful. The chase of finding subs, the chase of getting clients, the chase and the high of getting big tributes out of nowhere, and then the next couple of weeks are kind of slow, kind of quiet, and then we get another big high off of the next really big tribute that we get, and then the next week after that, like, if we may have some smaller tributes, or we may get sick, and then now we can't be, as consistent as we want to be because, we got sick, so now we gotta double back with the content the week after that once we feel better. This shit is addicting, but we love it. We love it, we love it, we love it, baby. It's for the love of the game. You gotta love the game. You gotta love the chase. You gotta love the game. You gotta love the chase. And this is what it is. This is what it feels like on on some real shit. And if you can't have these real nigga conversations about it, bro, you really missing out. If you can't have no real nigga conversations about what the fuck this fucked up ass game really is, and how fucked up and beautiful and shitty and magical and hard but also very rewarding that this shit can all be at the same time, bro, you really not experiencing financial domination for real. Like, that's a part of the game. You not having subs one day and then having $10,000 the next day is a part of the game. You can't just play the game when it's good. You can't just like the game when shit is good. That don't make it a game. That's why it's a risk. That's why it's so great. That's why it feels so good when you finally put all of that work in and get the subs. That's why it feels so fucking rewarding when you bust your ass for 6 months and now you finally got your first couple of subscribers. That's why it feels so good when you first hit your first 6 fucking figures after you've been through a lifetime of fucked up ass shit. Because you earned that shit. You knew the risks. All entrepreneurial endeavors got risks. That's the whole definition of being an entrepreneur. Somebody that's willing to take risks. You gotta risk it for the biscuit. You got to risk it for the biscuit. You have to. And when that biscuit motherfucking come, that be the best biscuit out there. You gotta risk it for the biscuit, and when that motherfucking biscuit show up, it's a nice hot strawberry biscuit with some icing on it from Popeyes. Fucking delicious. Look, and that's just a little sidebar, because them strawberry biscuits was the best goddamn idea that they done ever had in their motherfucking life. Baby, the allergies is kicking my little ass. I need some Claritin or something. This is the game. And if you want to get in the game, you got to know what the fuck this is on both sides of the coin. Not just one side. Not just the side that looks good and feels good. So look, that's my little tangent. I went on another little tangent this morning when I was talking about Castanet in the Streamers University. But y'all, this is my second little tangent of the day. So thank you for tuning into this tangent, whether you did it while I was live or you was on the replay. It's always love. Love for the game. And I'll see you on the flippity flip, for real. Because I ain't going nowhere. When I found out about this shit 8 years ago, baby. Oh, yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and run this light real quick. When I found out about this shit 8 years ago, baby, I was already knowing this shit for me. I was already knowing, oh, yeah, I'm about to be locked in with this shit for life. So I'm already knowing I ain't going nowhere. You know where to find me.